Hello.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing tonight?
Thank you, George. Hello, Miss Barbara.
Barbara's here.
Hello, Miss Carol.
Look at all the people here already. Holy, holy, jeez. Hey Carol,
If you're looking at all the other ones that say "at everyone," I love you all. That was me.
I know those. Carol Garcia. I said the other night to you that I wanted to talk to you, and I will soon. I just what's going here? Well, Anthony,
Man. Whew.
come and get it.
So now I got to think of a subject.
You haven't said Bubba Haley's here again.
Oh, we got a winging it day.
That's okay. That's if you guys have anything that you want to discuss, I know that it's been pretty crazy with a lot
Bubba
of the
Haley.
situations in the country, but we're not a real country type of show, are we? Hey, George, how about uh, how about favorite paranormal investigations, or how about favorite cemeteries? That's even better. That would be interesting. I think Bigfoot and the Bunnies here. Chris and Kristen, Chris Carr and Kristen Johnson.
What do you mean they're here?
It says right up there. It says Bigfoot and the Bunny. At everyone, I love you. A1.
That's
That
me.
that's you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm the one that typed that in.
okay. So that you didn't. They weren't.
If I
They
type
weren't
in
really.
one thing, it goes throughout all 8 places.
You know way more than I do, Reggie. I couldn't communicate with 8 of those people at the same time. I'd be writing each one individually. You're gonna have to show me how to do that.
You got knocked down, Carol?
Knock me on my buttocks. I hope it's okay. I don't want to see your buttocks get hurt. And now she's thinking Greg is some sort of, well, I ain't gonna say it.
What are you trying to say?
I don't think I want to say it.
Oh man. So
We're not gonna get into buttocks tonight. I don't think that would sort of end the show, wouldn't it? If we started talking about buttocks, I'm under the covers. You see that?
I'm
What do you
under
mean
the
you're under the
covers.
covers? I had 2 lousy shots today. I had a pneumonia shot and then I had a shingles shot, and they're both boosters. And I don't know.
Hello, Joanne.
Joanne Stewart, how are you? Good to see you.
So that uh, when you're trying to come up with a subject,
Yeah.
the two you mentioned don't do me much good because I've only been to 4 cemeteries and 1 high school, and that's it. And so,
I I just meant in general for the people. If the people in the comment section are interested in bringing up an investigation site,
oh,
that would be good, and things that they caught. Or if you want to continue on the other realm as far as going to the 9 what is it, 911 cases.
Oh,
If you want to talk about that a little bit, that's good too, because there's a lot of people here that don't know anything about that, and that's been going on for years. So I mean, it's not like, you know, it would be a good topic, and we can talk about Barbara. We could talk about Barbara Woodbury Spear and her pickles that she talks about.
oh, geez.
But I'm not going to get into that either. She's an amazing lady. We all have a lot of fun, and it's all about pickles. And we're not talking about eggplants. So just get that out of your head, people. We're dealing with pickles. Pickles are good. Love my pickles. From up here in Canada, eh? Where at in Canada are you at, Joanne? The 15th of next month, I'll be on Lake of the Woods. I'm usually there every year with the same guys that have been going up there with chasing muskies for about 30 years. And we're all beat up and battered now and fish hook scars. People show me their tattoos. I show them on the side of my knee where I had a hook removed last year, a big hook. So, and we had to do it. We had to do it at the pier, and my partner was the doctor, and we used a box cutter.
I haven't. I haven't looked into that yet, Carol.
The box cutter.
No, the missing kids.
Hey, Bill.
Um,
Love you too, Bill. Thanks for stopping. There's an
love
interesting
you too, Bill.
there's an interesting gentleman that I know personally who's into uh, cases, that Reggie's talking about now too, and I'm going to try to get him on the show here because he's extremely interesting, and he just ended up. He has a group of people that work for him, that work with him. Excuse me, that are all psychic mediums, and I know most of them, and they are great people, and they ended up over Christmas. There were some trailers that they found. I think it was down in Texas, and they had a whole bunch of people inside these trailers, and they got them freed. So they zero in on these psychically or remote viewing, whichever you want to prefer to call it, and actually go ahead and they get a target and they want to know where the target is, and they go ahead about doing their business, and they end up sending people in that direction, and they find them, which is remarkable in itself. What, you going to say something, Reg?
Well, I was going to tell Carol I'm reading it right now on my other computer.
Where did the 30 children go? Hi, Debbie. Great show. You're a
2 weeks,
fantastic
30,
cook.
30 kids under the age of 18 became missing in Cleveland in 2 weeks of May,
That's crazy.
in just half of May.
Debbie Wallace Hagen is on that show with the three friends, and they did a cooking segment that I was watching. I think it was yesterday. I can't remember. Maybe it was today.
Where did that question come from, Anthony?
What do you do when someone puts a hex on you? Do you retaliate?
Well, huh.
That's beyond me. I don't
I would
know. Right.
say I'm just going to give you my perspective, but mine's a bit different than most other people. Uh, get in touch with your star family because hexes bounce right off of me. If you surround yourself in love and protection with your star family, they
We'll do according. Good
it's
night.
impossible for someone to put a hex or a curse on me
Reggie and I
because
both
of
love
that.
you. And well, you have a
And
good night.
so that's what you got to do. You just got to put up that universal, I don't know, get your warriors behind you. You know,
Yeah.
if you believe that you've been cursed or hexed and you allow it to have you thinking about it all the time,
That's where the negative,
you are manifesting it.
right?
It's
The
not that
negativity
the
comes from.
person was able to do it. You're manifesting this to happen to you by the negative entities of the universe attracting to it. And it has nothing to do with that person that so-called put a hex on you. Because it's you that's manifesting it.
Yeah, I haven't read about too many of what's going on with the children or the people that are being like kidnapped or placed in these trailers and then they're sold or whatever they're doing with them. But there's a lot of stuff that's going on at the border that brings a lot of this stuff into play because people pay money to get help, and these people turn around and either kill them or take them to somewhere where they end up dead, and they keep their money.
It cannot bounce off you and attack your family, Anthony. The only way that can happen is if you put the fear of it in your family. If they don't have any knowledge of it, it's not going to affect them.
Like Courtney.
And then they end up manifesting it as well. So, yeah, they just don't even bother. Depending on what kind of energy you produce, the negatives won't bother. And again, it's all in manifestation. There's so many people out there that will hear the words from someone, that, hey, you cursed me, you hexed, or I put a curse on you, this, that, and the other. And that person didn't do nothing. They just said those words. They didn't do anything. But your fear that they just did that attracts and causes it to happen in your own mind, manifesting it. And then things will start happening because you allowed your fears of that to overwhelm your positive attitude or your I don't know. It's like if you're watching a scary movie and something jumps out at you and you jump out of your skin, all you're doing that entire movie is sitting there going, oh God, oh God, oh God, what's going to happen next?
No.
Oh my God. Here comes that music. Somebody's going to get killed, pop out, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's the same thing. If you are in fear constantly, the dark ones, the ones that are up to no good, are going to draw towards you, and it has nothing to do with that person. It has everything to do with your fear.
So when you were saying before that you're under the sheets, does that mean that that's how scared you were, that you're under the sheets because this is frightening, Anthony?
I don't think Anthony's afraid of nothing.
I don't think he is either. But
I
you
think
know,
he
he had that
just
comment up there.
question
You saw
just
that
to
comment.
get us going.
You saw the comment I'm talking about, though,
Yeah.
about him being underneath the sheets. So
I think Anthony just produced the question to give us a topic.
oh, I see. I shouldn't probably have got those shots today. Well, we got a lot of good people here, so you know maybe they do have answers to those questions or how they feel about those questions. Not that there's a lot of people in the room right now that do dabble on that side to begin with. Uh, you know, everybody, it's the universe and it's your guides and you know your everybody down the road that help you. And I don't think they would let any of those things come into play. You know, they'd probably defend you to the better end. So Joanne Stewart says, I can't understand how many police people are being shot. In the schools there are kids. Yeah. Nobody can. Nobody can understand that because most of them are deranged people. Who knows why they do it? They're, you know, and that's the part where, you know, that's why they're ending up dead because nobody, if they got a hold of them, who knows what they would do to them.
It's
This
that
is a change. This is a changed country now.
dark alien race.
A dark alien race.
Their
Where?
soul.
Huh?
Their soul.
Okay.
It's all about the soul. And
Yeah, it's not. It for some reason, you know, it's changing the whole environment. It's changing how people think. And what we got to do is everybody has to get together and everybody has to start to say, hi, hello, how are you? If you don't even know them, just say hi in the street and get that crazy look because that's what's necessary because people have to start taking care of people. And the more we cloister ourselves, the more we end up with this kind of attitude where, you know, I'm by myself and blah, blah, blah. And that's the crazy part. You know, who knows who's causing it? And that could be a good point. What she says right now, she says, well, if the aliens or others are here to help, when is it going? When it's going to be too late? I don't. I know there's a reason for everything, even how crazy it is, or how insane it is, or how brutal it is. There's always a reason behind everything.
the vibration of the planet when it comes to the even if you don't recognize your soul as being a star seed or Andromedan or Sirius or wherever you're from, the vibration, the frequency of the planet has raised. The frequency of love has raised. And what's going on is the darker souls, the extraterrestrial, the draconian, reptilian souls in the world, they're fighting back with a vengeance. and it's causing
Thank you, George.
horrific things to happen. And so we just have to fight back harder. But what it's going to take is I don't know how to word this. I always suck at wording things, but the collective
Consciousness.
frequency of all the loving, truly caring souls out there, whether it be in spirit or in human body, have to come together and let off a healing and a love energy out to the planet that can't be denied.
Right. Awesome.
And even those that are committing these crimes, that are losing their human mind due to this possession or whatever you want to call it, they will even return back to their rooms in the basement and stop doing it. It'll just automatically happen. It doesn't mean they won't sit around thinking about it.
No.
But right now, there's too many people, too many of the human race out there trying to, and I'm not trying to open up any cans of worms in what I'm about to say, so I'm going to try and word it as best I can. There are so many people out there just fighting for their rights of this or rights of that, or doing this or doing that, fighting the system, fight. Whether it be violent or not violent is besides the point. It's people butting heads over ridiculous things when everybody should just be loving each other for who they are without judgment. I mean, you got that kid that is 12 or 13 years old right now that's going to school shy, nervous, and you got these asshole, pardon my language, bullies causing that kid to sit in his room hiding in a corner just waiting to get that AR-15 so they can go blow the shit out of everybody in the school. I mean, you've got like so many people out there that are pushing other people to the limits when it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know, these families on this planet need to start teaching their kids at a young age not to bully people, not to, and I don't mean like bad punishments or things like that. All you got to do is act right in front of your kids 90% of the time. I'm not saying 100%, but 90% of the time, if you treat people right as you're raising your kids are going to follow suit, you know? And so it's got to stop somewhere.
I think George sums it up with the mental health crisis. Because there's a lot of people, because of these situations that you mentioned, that are all, you know, they're not well.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. The
Right.
Any mental health problems, unless and let all the angels in the universe and spirit guides bless them with all of our hearts, unless you are literally mentally challenged, a special needs person. That's different. But the mental health crisis, when it comes to people that are born normal, is caused by these jerks out there that are treating them bad or teaching them wrong from birth. You know, it drives people crazy. If somebody, it's not always from birth, but if somebody goes out, runs amok, and does a mass shooting, killing 15 to 25 people at a Walmart, we'll say, there's going to be 5 or 10 of those people at Walmart, their families are going to have that mental health crisis because they just lost a family member that brutally due to somebody that was brought up from birth. I mean, the root of the whole problem is whatever went on with that person from birth, the one that lost their mind. And then the mental health and all that goes right out the door with all these families. And man, there's so much to talk about on this.
Yeah, well, Anne Marie Young said, when we can all learn that love is not enabling bad behavior, but bringing it to the light and make people responsible for their actions. Love them enough to see the light. And George says, can teach something that one hasn't experienced themselves, which is very, very good. And Carol said once again about what we said earlier, it's a global consciousness. And George earlier said rhyme or reason. And these are all, Bubba Haley said before that, I think they had schools because of less security, guns, and they're defenseless kids. Of course, I agree with you on that. And now it's a beehive. So, I think these people are calculating enough to have decided I don't think it's a good idea to go near a school because they're asking to limit their lifetime, to say the least. and that's the whole rhyme and that's the whole way this thing has been going. So, and I think there's not a police force in the nation that won't give it all. And I know that when we first started about missing cases, and I think we should jump off of this because I think we said enough, and there's enough for people to make their own decisions on, and they already have. We're just bringing that part up, but on these lost people and missing people and missing 911 and the things that you had talked about last week, and and you brought it to the forefront, I think is vitally important because we could, like you said, we could spend hours on this and it's not going to get anybody anywhere. We all know what we have to do to handle it, I think, and we have to love. Everybody's got to go ahead and turn around.
The only way that we're ever going to get it under control on the earth is it seems impossible, but is to open the eyes of all 8 billion people to loving one another unconditionally. It's possible, but it's 8 billion people. And so.
Oh, thanks, George. It's 411. I keep on saying 911. What an idiot. Sorry, Reggie. I've interrupted you at the wrong time.
No. That's all I was saying about that.
Okay. Well, George just said missing 411.
That's the key to it all, is getting all 8 billion people to agree to love each other unconditionally. That's why I'm never happy with I never feel fulfilled because I'm wanting to hit up all 8 million people.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I'm not gone yet.
I mean, we'd have to be totally controlled by a force bigger and better than us which would have to come out of the sky, I think.
And it will.
And then everybody would go ahead and start to pay attention.
The old phrase, if you build it, that he will come, from Field of Dreams.
Right. Well, that
if I and anybody out there manifests it, they will come. I'm telling you, collective. They will come. There's going to be a shock to this planet like they'd never seen or heard about before, and it's not going to be dangerous. The whole planet is going to look up in the sky and go, "Oh my God! Oh my! They're going to forget about their hate for each other. They're going to look up and it's going to happen. I don't know when. I don't know how. But I'm constantly trying to manifest this. Kind of the same way I'm trying to manifest having a cup of coffee with Bigfoot. But I'm trying to.
Harry doesn't like coffee. Have you watched that movie lately? You know which movie I'm talking about? Have you ever seen it? Harry and the Hendersons?
I've seen it.
Every time I go out to see my daughter out in Washington, and we go on big hikes and we're in the woods, it's like, I wonder where Harry is. That's pretty funny. Sounds like Linda Kruger sounds like Reggie needs to hook up with Stephen Greer.
He isn't any different than any other famous guy out there. I can't get a hold of that guy. I tried for over a year or two, and there isn't anything you can do to get a hold of him.
I'm mysterious. I did the same thing, Reggie, but it was
I joined one of his groups.
Yep.
And one of the Facebook groups that support Stephen Greer. And I ended up going at it with somebody in the group in messages. I ended up blocking them because
yeah, I remember that.
They were talking about on their page judging others and all this other stuff, and then they went off on me because of my profile picture having Jesus white in my profile picture. And I'm like, where did this even come from? And I started going at it with him over that because there was a racial issue having to do with the color of Jesus on my profile picture. And this is one of Stephen Greer's groups.
Well,
I don't think it's Stephen Greer's group, but it was a support group for him.
And it probably really has nothing to do with what Stephen Greer does.
Well, it had to do with extraterrestrial star seeds.
Yeah.
Contact with alien races and stuff like that, and
out in the desert.
And that's the same thing doing that I meditation. Am, basically.
Well, I would love to go out there and do that. I would love to go with them. I would do it. I just heard, didn't somebody say that the other day that where the heck were we? That somebody's going out there.
I got a question.
Uh-oh.
And this is something I brought up to you, Greg, but I'm gonna ask this question as delicately as I possibly can, without attitude.
To who?
To everyone in the viewing audience. Everyone.
Ooh.
This has to do with cold cases.
Okay.
I've been talking about solving cold cases. And the way I do it, the way I go after my information is by direct response, so that I have a recording of what they are telling me that I can show pardon the expression here, but the human race, whether it's a police officer or whoever I would be talking to on the phone, I can actually show them a recording of what was told to me so they know I was told that. Okay. I have a unique, I think, a unique way of trying to solve cases where I'm actually getting answers from somebody outside of the human body. Okay. So there's so many, and this is where I got to be delicate. So many psychic mediums out there, so many gifted psychic mediums out there. But all you ever hear about is, and again, I'm going to hesitate while I'm talking because I'm trying to make sure I don't offend anybody. All you hear about is going and talking to spirit at a cemetery, going to talking to spirit at a haunted location, talking to spirit in front of somebody, giving them a reading. And if they are this gifted, and I'm not going to say any specific names or anything like that. I'm trying to like keep this low key, but I don't believe I'm wrong on this. If they are that gifted as psychic mediums and they can hear spirit, they can hear ghosts, they can feel, why with all the cold cases, why with all the unsolved murders, why with all the missing people out there, are they blowing all their, I mean, it's not really blowing their time like giving people readings, but you can do so much good for the world if you even knew even an approximate location of where a body might be. You can reach out to that spirit or ghost and they can tell you where they are. They can tell you where their body is. Okay? And that's the bottom line. If you're that gifted a psychic medium, then they should be able to tell you, give you clues through your psychic abilities, and you should be able to form a team with me or other psychic mediums to solve unsolved murders. You can call, and a Facebook user said I talk right in my living room, and that's what I do. I've been at 4 cemeteries in 1 high school, and I have all the videos I have of me talking to spirit. And I found missing people from my living room. Okay, why don't psychic mediums, ITC guys, whatever, band together to bring closure to families on this planet, starting with this country, but other countries too. We want to do the whole world. Okay, but instead of worried about, whatever it is they're worried about, they're just doing the same damn thing over and over again every day, whether it be paracons or whatever they're doing. Get some good out of this, man. Like real good out of it. And I'm sorry I started venting a little bit, but I'm not saying any specific names or doing anything like that. I'm just saying in general.
We got a Facebook user right now that needs to go ahead and have StreamYard okay yourself so your name can appear, please. The user said, yes, Reg, I worked them for 3 years now, so cops don't listen. Well, that's number one. Number two is that if the cops don't listen, that means there's a bigger hierarchy that does.
Donna,
And
why are you in as a Facebook user?
was that Donna?
Yeah.
Sorry, Donna. That's what it showed up as. But anyway, what I was getting
Police.
back at is we need to get Dr. Chuck on this show to answer some of your questions that you have and have him tell about what they've done, because they are a very active group of psychic mediums that work on basically what you're talking about. And they're in a program. So it's not just Joe Schmo getting some people from a Psychic Unite group. It's not the case. This is bigger than that. And there's a lot of things that have to have closed doors. In other words, there's things that happen to, as far as not having any notoriety. Nobody knows who these people are. Dr. Chuck will come on because Dr. Chuck is the one that runs it. And he was on my show, I think, twice. And I talked about the same kind of subject with him. And this would be something to start out with and possibly would lead to other people for the same thing that you're talking about, Reg. It would give an opening. Because I'm not an expert.
Yeah, Linda, I wouldn't be able to describe their faces to a sketch artist. I wouldn't. But what I will be able to do, and again, I got so busy that I have trouble finding enough time to do what I want to do.
Okay.
That's part of the reason why I'm kind of reaching out in a way right now. Okay. Looking for somebody that has the same kind of ambition I do.
Well, it's
Maybe,
gifts. It's
but
gifts, Reggie.
What the thing is what I would provide is direct audible answers recorded that would give clues to a direct location where they may find the DNA to prove it, who did it. Now that they got all the DNA out there, all that stuff going on, it gives an extra edge. It's like if you were to go after an unsolved murder and they simply could not find the knife, the soul of who got murdered and their guides that were here with them while they were in human form would be able to tell you where the knife is. They'd be able to tell you where their body is if it's missing. And my end of it, what I do is audible. I always second guess anything psychic medium. And if you go to the police as a psychic medium and you just tell them something, it's going to be hard for a police officer to believe or the county to believe.
Okay.
But if you bring a recording of somebody, or if you bring some sort of a clue, hey, go look under that rock. You might find the knife under there. And they open up, they pick up the rock and they find the knife. That's what I'm trying to provide, is that kind of direction. And I used to be an insurance agent. So once I get over my nervousness of talking to people, I'll be able to sell a deputy on going and looking under that rock. Trust me.
One of the people, Debbie Wallace Hagen, once again has a response for the question that was asked before about most of the time I'm told what happened to them. I see faces, places, but never names. So that's really interesting because the opposite of what was said before. I can't remember who said that.
Who said that?
This is Debbie Walls Hagen, 3 Friends Paranormal. And I probably screwed that up again, didn't I, Debbie? And I apologize.
I'm a different. I don't know how to explain this exactly, but Debbie, but I'm a different kind of medium. Like
We're all different.
I
Yes.
I have direct connection through electronics. Like if you were to come to me and say, I wish I could hear my grandfather's voice just one more time, I can make that happen. You know, I can actually bring him through, unless he's reincarnated. And then the only way I can bring him through is if he's on a planet that's at such a high dimensional level that he's able to astral project and telecommunicate. Then we can bring him through if he's reincarnated, but it's rare that you find that. Usually because time doesn't exist, usually they stay in spirit form for Earth centuries, 50 plus years.
Anne Marie says, my abilities are not like a clear conversation without feedback. And then Donna said, I channel, I get my evidence. And Carol Garcia said, exactly. And that's exactly what I do. But most of mine is usually, I haven't gone beyond the realm of this little screen here as far as what we do on Metaphysical Crossing. I would love to try, and I think I may, this summer sometime.
Who are you referring to, Linda?
Yeah, you could contact them after the show, or you can talk to me tomorrow, and I'll give Reggie the name, whatever you want to do.
No, I don't know what she means by can you still contact someone.
Anthony says, so the spirit box is more valid than a psychic? No.
What's
It's the same. It's the same. I think it's the same, Reggie. Or Anthony, I just think it's a different form of communication.
Okay. Spirit box.
ITC.
And ITC is, how do I put this? Again, I'm trying to word things so I'm not offensive. A psychic medium can tell the general public anything they want to tell them until they're blue in the face, and the public is gonna either believe them or not believe them, and 75% of them are not going to believe them. You can communicate, and it's wonderful abilities. But when somebody speaks to you out loud, okay, like if I found somebody that like was deceased and their body was missing, they had no clues whatsoever as to where this person was, and I came out of nowhere, okay, and I need you guys to really think about what I'm saying. Okay, a psychic medium comes out of nowhere and says, go look over here. They got the right information. The police go look over there, and then they blame the psychic medium for how did you know that? Yeah, right.
They accuse them of the crime.
Now, somebody with ITC if they know how to use their psychic medium abilities through it, brings to that same police officer the recording of somebody telling them that out loud. And my videos, you can't deny it. Okay. And I video everything. I got security cameras on me at all times. So everything that I do in here is recorded with video. And if I solve something, I can actually bring a police department a video of me doing it, talking to them through apparently nobody's here. It's got to be from somewhere giving me the answer. And it's valid. They're hearing it. They're hearing it. And they just found that person there. And guess what? I've got on security cameras that at the time of the murder, I was sitting right here at the desk with a timestamp on it, or I was at work when it happened because of me clocking in and out. And that's valid. It's valid. Now, they might be having their jaws drop to the floor. What? Oh my God. What? You know, but I mean, that's even going to make a judge scratch their head a little, you know, but if you can't hear it or see it, that's what makes it so hard on a psychic medium when it comes to trying to solve something.
Plus, is the recording from a spirit on an ITC device going to stand up in a court? And then you'd have to pull in all sorts of witnesses, and I don't think it would be valid. And I'm not. Hey, that's what I do. I'm just saying I wouldn't take it to a court of law. You know what I mean? I talked to my guys.
I'm not saying that.
No, you're using it for identification.
What you recorded. I'm saying you go to that body.
Right.
With the officer and the recording.
Okay.
And then it makes it valid right in front of them. Here's the knife. Here's the body. Here's the, and here's who told me. I can't show them to you, but you can hear them. You know.
There's a lot of good conversations in here. Got a lot of great comments. And they continue on and on.
Hey, Donna, I don't think you're understanding what I'm trying to say. I've been awakened. What I'm saying is that hearing is believing. Seeing is believing. And a psychic medium can't make someone hear something or see it. But if you do what I do, they can at least hear the voice saying it. And it gives you that protection you need, especially if you record everything the way I do. Because they can't blame me. I've got proof of where I was at, when I was there, and when I did it. And that I'm not involved in the crime. And I have somebody saying what happened. And then if we look into it and find out that that's the right answer, woo, wow, you're turning a whole police department into believers, like right now. And that's where I'm trying to get with this, but I'm treading very lightly.
Well, and we all, as far as our abilities are concerned, we all look at things differently. We all interpret them differently. And we all have specific paths that we choose for communicating with our guides in the universe, everybody else, angels. So, I mean, there's nothing laid in the ground that says this is the way this is handled. There's not a book that'll go ahead and tell you that kind of thing. And now we're dealing not only with our abilities, but we're also talking about loved ones being dead and being found and the law. And like I said earlier, I think it would still be questioned. But, you never can tell until you go into a case and try to see how far you're going to get with it. But, Chris said, or I think it was Chris, they're coming hot and heavy.
Yeah, when Carol, you said it still may be questioned by a judge or jury
Right.
that doesn't understand ITC or mediumship. Well, again, what my goal you is leaving them no room to question.
I think
I'd have them hearing it, but I would have the case solved. It would be done, and that's their only explanation. Is this is what Reggie, the electro medium, or whatever you want to call me, heard,
the
and it was
electro
correct.
medium.
It was correct, and it's solved. Now there's a family that's got closure,
Right.
so there would be no room for doubt if it's solved, and that's what my ultimate goal is. I'm trying to
I don't think
get
as
a
far as
grasp on a technique that will solve case after case.
I don't think there would be anybody that would want it to go to courts anyway if they discovered the body and they have a weapon and they have somebody that's going to be tried in the court of law. Compared to you having to go in and testify and bring in your spirit box or the evidence and say this is how I got it, because that's not necessary at that point. They're gonna try him anyway for murder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you found the weapon, so I mean I wouldn't worry about anything else.
Well, that's what I mean. It's open and shut.
Yes.
I mean, on my end, it's open and shut. Okay. I talk to spirit. I record it. I figure out where the weapon is. Show the police my information and how I got it. They have the weapon. They take it from there, testing the DNA and going through CODIS or whatever it's called to see if there's a DNA match. They take it from there to go after whoever it is. And it would help if, while I'm doing what I do, I come up with a name of the killer, not to be given out in public, so to speak. Like I said, I'm trying to perfect this little way of going about it.
Right.
Until they've tested the DNA. And if the name I come up with matches the DNA of whoever, then more of the world will become believers of the paranormal, believers of psychic mediums, believers of what we do. And more people will start to listen. And it'll radiate, again, what we talked about earlier, love for one another.
Right.
People will be getting closure. The world would come together in just one more way, while solving cases.
That's a beautiful thing, and that's where we have to look at it that way, because we can't go ahead and say who's better than the other. You know what I mean? You put up 10 people and half of them are mediums and half of them are psychic mediums, and then you go ahead and say, like what that was Donna again that said that you're more valid than a psychic medium / clairvoyant ? No, I wouldn't say that's the case. It's not. You can't interpret it that way.
Donna, you're still not following what I'm trying to say.
We're all special.
You could never solve
nobody would
with a box. No way. You need to channel, remote view, astral project, etc. I get names and more. I see some very ugly stuff. I believe you. You got amazing gifts, Donna. Okay. I understand that. But again, you have to know an officer personally and get them to go, oh, okay, yeah, here, let's go over here and check this out.
What's
Okay.
the chance of them doing that?
If you remote view, but you never go to that place and solve the case, what's the point in remote viewing? If you don't send somebody to pick up on what you remote viewed or what you did to solve the case, what's the point?
I think right now what you need to do is you need to give people a background of exactly what you're talking about pertaining to a case that you were involved with how many years ago on the river. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And give everybody the backstory and tell everybody what you did, how you went about it. And they didn't pay any attention. And I'm not going to say anymore. You just
Okay.
tell them the backstory.
I don't know if how many of you have heard this story. Okay, but this is how you get through to them. Like really get through to them. There was a okay.
You don't know much any name.
I don't know how much to say, but there was a girl and her brother that drowned, or they were in a river, and the current started taking them under. Nearby fishermen, there was a man and wife nearby, and the wife ran into the river, got a hold of the brother, but the girl got swept under. They couldn't find her. I was watching the news, and come Saturday morning, it'd been a day and a half, and they still hadn't found her. The week before that, I went to St. Michael's Cemetery, and I asked the souls within the cemetery to help me find a stone. They did. And I used that knowledge that they were willing to come forward and help me in finding this girl. The family has no idea. Only the county sheriff's department now knows. Because I was calling them using ITC equipment. Okay. I got it all recorded, and it's still saved on my hard drive. I got it saved to 4 different hard drives in case I ever have to bring this up to prove it to somebody. I won't do it on a podcast because, again, the family did not know that some guy from Madison found their baby girl 54 hours before the police pulled her out of that exact spot that I called them on 54 hours earlier. Done with ITC. She was even here that quickly, asking me to come find her. I got it recorded. And my guides were saying, all right, let me go look. It doesn't look good, Reg. They came back, and the next thing you know, she's under the bridge. I pulled up a Google map on my big screen to the area where she was lost. I stood up because it's up kind of above my seat here, pointing at the map and with the ITC equipment on. And again, it's all recorded. 100% of this is recorded. I'm pointing at the river and I'm asking them as I go along. And this is my proof that you can use a box to solve a case. Okay. I'm pointing at the map and I can hear Madeline say, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I'm pointing at this bridge. I didn't say the name of the bridge out loud. I asked them, can you give me the street name that is crossing that bridge? And they did. They gave me the exact street name. I called. They were about 500 feet down the river from her. My recordings were saying she needs a boat. She's under a bridge. They gave me the street name, the whole nine. I called them Saturday morning, Janesville. Probably shouldn't have said that out loud. I called the city. All right, you can do the replay. Anyway, and I told them the information. They said they'd pass it along. By Sunday, I redid the session. I watched the news. They were 200 feet away from her. And the guides and everybody was saying she's under a boat. I asked them how deep it was under the bridge. Or I asked them how far under she was. They said 7 feet in depth. I called the police again. Then they conveniently said, you need to talk to the county department. Had me call them. I got a deputy on the phone. Without giving him all this information, I told him where she's at, how I got it. I asked him, how deep was the water under the bridge? Have you ever been under there? He said, yes. He said it's around 6 feet or so. And that's without me telling him. They told me 7 feet. Okay. And then where my psychic medium abilities kicked in wasn't recorded. It was Monday morning. I was out on the balcony and I had a vision that I was standing in a canoe. And I looked down at the water and I saw a little hand reaching up. I reached down to grab the hand, to pull the hand up. This is a vision I was having. Not 5 minutes later, they said, psychic medium wise, to me, they found her, Reg. That's not recorded. But that's where my psychic medium abilities kicked in. At about 12:30, there was a news broadcast on. And think about my vision now. A citizen that was helping with the search located her in the exact same spot under that bridge from inside a kayak.
Oh, boy.
She was found at approximately 11:05 in the morning. When I heard they found her and had that vision, it was 11:05. It was right in between 11:05 and 11:10. And then I called the sheriff's department that Monday morning. And they got me on the phone with a deputy. And man, he was sharing the car with the deputy I was on the phone with, and I was on kind of a speaker phone or something. He could hear it. And he's like, I knew stuff like this could happen, but I'd never seen it firsthand. But Reg, you were right. And it was so uplifting to me to hear an officer become a believer like that. And that's what can happen if you go about it the right way. If you go about it a certain way.
Are you still in contact with that officer?
We haven't talked in quite some time.
Do you have his name? Without putting it on the broadcast, I'm just curious if you have his name.
I know it Shifty works, and I can call.
Okay. I'm
And
just
ask
curious.
Yeah.
No.
But my name went into a desk. I know, just in case they ever have like a cold case they're like totally stumped on, they're shot in the dark, where they,
You know
I
how
think
that
this
goes.
officer will call me.
Oh, that would be good. But Debbie Wallace Hagan, once again, says, Reggie, I would love to work with you, and I have someone I'm trying to find. It's an open case. I'll private message you if you want.
Who said that?
That was Debbie Wallace Hagan. She's from down south.
Okay.
Kimmy Corpse is here. Kimmy's part of. Am I going to get it right this time? Hold on a minute. Best Friends Paranormal. Shoo! I had that wrong how many times? I know everybody's a little down about exactly what is being mentioned tonight. That's not the way we're going to carry it all the time. It's just the fact that when questions are asked and abilities have to be brought out, that's fine. And it's not that he's perfect and it's not that I'm perfect. And we work at what we do. It's how we go into it and how we believe. And we want you guys to believe too the same way. And I know there's a lot of you in here that already do. And it's like, okay, if there's a doubt or a question, that's why we're here too, is to go ahead and let it be brought up so we can go ahead and talk about it and handle it.
Just so
And
you
what-
know, just so you know, Debbie, the answer is yes, 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 yes. You message me as soon as you want to. I don't know if you're in my group or not. I think you are. But yeah, go ahead and message me.
If you do that, Debbie, the best friends has to make you a big cake. I'm just throwing that out there. Now she's gonna get mad at me. They all look like they can cook like crazy. And I forgot, who did I forget in the group? I'm trying to remember. She lives way up off of Superior. Uh, her and her husband are up there.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, it's got to be. They got to put it in the comment. That's the only way I'm going to be able to.
Laura Smith.
Yes, Laura Smith is the other person. She's the other member of Best Friends Paranormal. Thank you, Kimmy. That's awesome.
But yeah, no, I think that this show is probably going in the right direction here. I was talking about this show being about cold cases. And if we can figure this out and make it effective, this could be a weekly cold case talk show versus Spirit Box with and the way that to get it, again, I'm trying to word it properly. I don't know if Donna, if you're still here, but if a psychic medium or somebody that's remote viewing gives me the information to where I'm trying to word this right because I don't know how to say it. Where I can work with that person to get it recorded like if I'm no expert on remote viewing, okay, so if somebody has a location, I can have my guides using my abilities go to that location and record information about that location or about the person missing or about whatever the case is. And then we got audible words, not only backing up the psychic medium and what they came forward with, because that can be recorded too. See, I'm coming up with a format now. If a psychic medium or a remote viewer says it on a voice recording, and the voice recording is time stamped, and then I bring up the recording to my guides, like say you're stuck in the living room like I am, I bring the voice recording to my guides, they take off to whatever location it is, come back with audible information that matches what the psychic medium pointed out, then that validates everyone involved. And there aren't too many police departments that aren't at least going to go look. And it's all recorded. So nobody that's doing this is getting blamed for the crime. Yeah, we ought to start an organization of some sort and just try it.
George said, don't believe it would be cut and dried. Probably take the Supreme Court to accept anything like ITC evidence.
It's still not about that.
Right.
I see it. Yeah, what is cut and dry, it's not about, okay, and I need you guys to really, again, I suck at wording things, okay? Follow what I'm saying. It's not about me going to the police or the court and saying, here, a ghost said it, you got to believe them. It's about me or someone within the area of where it occurred, taking the information given to me and solving the case.
Right.
Bringing it to the attention of an officer. There's the knife. There's the body. And we have recorded proof that we were not involved in the crime. You understand what I'm saying? I'll get this figured out. I got it all recorded. Everything I'm saying, so I can replay what I just said.
So we have to look at the legal limitations too, because there probably are some, and there probably are some on the networks.
What's that?
There may be some limitations. There may be some legal limitations of what we can discuss as far as any kind of cases on here. Mean? Well, I'm not trying to throw a monkey wrench in it, but I'm just saying that, you know, when you go ahead and you're talking about something like this on here, I think it's okay as long as we keep all that other stuff under cover, because we don't want to bring that to light. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about an individual being found.
Well,
such, you know, if you bring it to a head and say this is where they are, and you found her, then I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
If you found her, you brought family closure, and it's a fantastic thing.
I understand that part.
And anything that
but
we
at
say
the same,
on,
well,
I was just saying, anything that we say on here, it's all freedom of speech. And if you're slandering, like I don't know what word to use. If you're putting down somebody that's alive, and it gives them monetary damage on their career, they can come after you. But if you're talking about somebody that's dead, even the family of the person that got murdered is going to be grateful that you're at least trying. They're not going to press charges on you for trying to solve a case.
No, I didn't say that. I'm talking about the networks that we're on. And
that we're streaming on?
If there was anything that
there
somebody
hasn't
would
been, and I can say this with confidence.
You're the first show.
Not only have I heard it from Brian Laverty, but I've heard it from Matt Barron. I've heard it from Chrissy. All
Great.
on different days, they have been waiting for a cold case show.
That's great. Okay.
And so that's where I kind of got like my influence.
That's Reggie, I'm not trying to go and like I said, stop the flow or anything.
Yeah, message me, Debbie.
We have to be patient, and we have to have our eyes open all the time when we're dealing with things like this, I think.
Oh yeah. I'm the only thing that makes me leery, but it's not going to stop me, is the 1 in a billion chance. 1 in a billion chance. I mean, it's you have a better chance of winning the lottery that the actual killer is going to be watching the podcast and running right to Madison to get me. That's the only thing that I think about once in a while is, okay, I might have to watch my back, depending on what the situation is. But the smart criminals are going to go into hiding if they hear proof of something happening. They're not going to come after somebody that's a public face,
A lot of them are older too. The cases are older, so
yeah, you can.
Probably long gone.
Too, Carol. You can message me as well. That's funny.
Which one?
That one. Yeah, you guys gotta.
Chris Carr, Dark Horse Paranormal, Man About Town. Awesome people. Family. They're a part of my family.
Yeah, and I noticed Linda said there was a lot of Sue happy people out there too. I agree with that.
She says what?
That you got to be careful because there's a lot of people that are happy to sue, like quick to sue somebody. My only worry about getting sued is if I blame the wrong person.
They're going to take your apartment away from you.
And I won't mind it with no air conditioner.
Oh, God, Reggie. Here she goes. Here's Donna again. I can't see it because I got some stupid thing under part of it. Can you pull it up? It's the last one.
What's that?
It's the last comment.
From Facebook user?
Yes. Who said that?
Well, that's Donna.
Yeah, but the part about that I channeled the case and had a murder in my house from the case.
Where did we hear that one, Donna? You're talking about during a podcast? I think that might have been
on her show?
No,
What's the name of your show? If this is, you still do it?
huh?
Oh, she says we did cold cases. Then she says it's a podcast. So obviously she must still be doing it.
Oh yeah.
That would be good to go ahead and catch a glimpse of what you all do.
This is what my deal is. No matter what you do to try to solve a cold case, you know how we were talking earlier, and again, I'm going to try to get my guides to talk for me so I know how to word this right. Um, how earlier we were talking about enlightening the world, showing them loving one another, embracing each other, loving each other unconditionally. If you were to solve a cold case, a big one, like they're all big, but I mean, like, if you were to like be able to solve one, it's for the closure of the family. However, this isn't a popularity contest. It's not to become a celebrity. It's not to become famous. But if you were to solve something, like literally solve it, and that came out to the public, especially if it was like a worldwide knowledge, it went global on the news,
Mm-hmm.
what better way to awaken a world than have them all sit back in their seats and go, what? Wow, there is hope out there. There is somebody out there, something out there outside of the human race, something bigger than us. There's that type of love that will produce a miracle. I want to solve a case. I want it to be point blank. I'm wording this wrong, I'm sure. Point blank in the faces of everyone involved that this came from the heavens. So it awakens them. Not the kind of a spiritual awakening that we may have felt, but it opens their eyes to, whoa, my God. The second that this world starts believing in miracles again and knows they exist, that's when that frequency of the whole planet's going to start rising. They're going to know. They're going to have confidence. The universe will start manifesting it for each individual person that believes in the love and the miracle of things that are bigger than us and that it can happen. And so, I mean, this is just one small step, and it's a good step because you're bringing closure to people, closing cases for families. But when that gets out there, it's going to go viral that this keeps happening. And then belief in something bigger and hope is going to spread throughout the entire planet. I don't know what else to say. I hope I worded that right.
I think you did.
I kind of drifted off into my own there. But it's just a big chain reaction.
Oh, there's
And
a ton of. No, I have it's Donna's Psychic Corner.
oh,
Psychic. And that's on Facebook.
is that on Facebook, Donna? Or is it like YouTube? Okay. Okay.
Is it on Facebook?
She
Oh,
said she's going to send me an invite. I don't know if she was answering yes to Facebook or yes to YouTube. Well, I don't know if I did something extremely wrong or extremely right here, Greg, because the comments got so much quieter while I was talking, but we didn't really lose any viewers. I mean, is there's anybody out there that wants to comment or has any questions or?
You did a great job. It's private, but need to be friends. Started a new Facebook.
Oh, okay.
On Facebook. Very interesting, Donna. And everybody.
I think we are, Donna. I think I did friend that other account. The new one. I believe. You might want to look. If not, send me another friend request. Because I remember seeing it, I think.
You can send one to me too, Donna, if you'd like. Yeah.
Oh man.
So if you do have any questions, like Reggie said, be sure to mention them now. So we got this totally covered and take care of it that way. Carol says I had the suicide in my mom's house. I remember her talking about it, but that was a while ago.
Yeah, feel free to message me. Anybody watching the show, feel free to message me on Facebook. Anybody at all. Here, I'll show you guys something real quick. I'm going to skip ahead in this video. I'm going to start a video, but I'm not playing the whole thing. I'm going to skip ahead in it.
Oh, I've missed all of you so much. I miss being out here with you.
All right. This
William Schultz and Bertha?
Yeah, I would say they are. Yeah.
I just skipped ahead. All right, right here on this video. Okay, when I was talking to you guys about what gave me the idea to try and find missing girl in the river, this is what gave me the idea. If you listen, when I said that the spirit was trying to help me find a stone I couldn't find, this next little snip of this video is John Wakerhauser. I walked right by Arnold Dreyer's stone because it was flat on the ground. And I kept walking by it. And you can hear Arnold going, he keeps walking past. I don't think he'll ever find me. Can you see me, Reg? You know, that type of stuff. I could hear him in my recording. And when I do a playback of the year before, after John says just hanging around, and the playback is when John Wakerhauser goes, stop, Reg, stop. You passed him. He's telling me I passed the stone. It was right after that in the original video. I backed up 5 feet and practically walked on top of Arnold Dreyer's stone.
Anyone at rest in the cemetery,
Right
in
here,
human
John
form,
Wakerhauser.
if their souls are available, could you please bring them forward? Everybody. I want all.
He's gonna say just hanging around, and then I go a year back and he goes, now stop, Reg, stop. You passed him. And it's in the same voice from the year before.
All 78 of them.
Right here.
John Wakerhauser.
Right here.
Okay.
Right there. John gave me the final clue. That's why I said okay. And I backed up and I'm like, all right, guys, now all I'm doing is trying to find. And as I'm saying that line, I look down and he's at my feet. And so, yeah, I thought I'd show that to you because it kind of came up in the subject tonight. That's the precise moment, the last clue I needed to find Arnold Dreyer's stone.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Great work. So we don't have any questions. Do you guys want us to leave early tonight? It's 8:49. It's 8:50. We got 10 minutes to go.
Uh-oh. You guys get to see my high speed intro.
Oh God.
George said he loved that intro.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
George is still here. It's been 2 hours and George is hanging around. I
can't stop my head. My head started going like this on the intro. Going back and forth. I felt like Beavis and Bud.
You guys are now. I gotta warn you now.
No, you're gonna play it again.
I gotta warn you to whoever's watching this that did not see this new thing I added at the beginning of the show. I made this basically. It has all the networks in it to start it out, but then I've only been to 4 cemeteries, and all 4 of them are in this intro, but they're at an extremely high speed with this music. So when you see me moving, I'm at 500% faster than what I'm actually moving.
Before you go there, I just want to make a point that Carol Garcia said something that she shared with everybody on Shaman Sundays. And she's been doing that every Sunday that she's there. And she says at the end of the show to remember to smile. So that's to everybody in the room and everybody that's watching. And that's of vital importance because that's the difference.
Oh, yeah.
In case Reggie goes off and then we're done and we disappear. Who knows where we'll go?
Is that Dark Horse Paranormal Productions? Is that Chris watching?
Yeah,
Chris or Kristen?
one of them.
Are you guys here? Because I want you to see it too.
So fasten your seatbelts, people.
Because I actually put your names on the Dark Horse part. Chris and Kristen, are you here? Either one of you?
Hello.
He just might have said hi.
No.
Oh, okay. It's me. Laugh out loud. That could have been Chris or Kristen. Okay. Well, here I'm gonna go ahead and play this. If anybody in the audience suffers from motion sickness, don't stare directly into the screen. And that's no joke, because you will get motion sickness. I get a little dizzy watching it on the 55-inch. I'll put it to you that way. Hold on to your seats. Here we go.
Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times.
Boy, that's some high adrenaline.
Pass me a gummy. Oh, that'll improve everything drastically, won't it?
Yeah, so did you like it, everybody? Okay, well, I can kind of see it. Yeah. Yeah,
Great job, Reggie.
I got some new toys to play with, too, when it comes to my video editing. I'm going to try.
They're all top secret devices. So
It's gonna take me forever. I'm sure of it, because I'm gonna try and do it with like Hollywood quality from my desk. But I got all kinds of programs now where I can add spaceships. Some of you guys saw dragons before on stuff I was messing around with. Dragons, spaceships. I figured out how to use a program where I can that's online, that where I can go anywhere in the world I want to by an aerial view, and I can actually see it as though I'm in that city.
wow.
And move through it. So I'm going to do like spaceship stuff, and I want to use lines from my guides as lines in the movie, so to speak. And so it's good.
Love the dragons going through the house.
Do I have that? I wonder if I have that on here.
You got 1 minute, Reg. Oh,
I got as long as I want. There ain't nobody after me on Tuesdays.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's good.
there isn't anybody.
I just thought I didn't let you know.
I don't think there is.
Somebody's got to go ahead and keep track of everything that's going on. Maybe our
don't know if I
Supreme
have it
Allied
on
Commander would know. Does Chris know? Is there anybody else on after this?
I don't think so. I think I was the only show on Tuesday night. Everybody else either quit or whatever.
There's a submarine show, I think, isn't there? Never mind.
You want to hire a band to play my wedding with the Mofo Dragons?
Well, with the mofo. What? Wait a minute. I want to hire that band to play my wedding with the Mofo Dragons. Is that TMI there?
I'm gonna see if I can find that.
And then, hey everyone, love, kisses and hugs. Is that what that is? And that's from a Facebook user. And that's right at the end of the show. I wonder who that one is.
I'm gonna try to find that
Are we going to end on that?
that dragon one. Hold on a minute.
We'll have to end on it, unless you want to stay on.
You know me. If I don't have a time limit, man, everybody's asleep before I'm done.
Right.
Generally.
I got to work on Wednesday a little bit
Oh,
for metaphysical, but
I'm turning on the sharing on both of my computers so I can transfer a video over.
okay.
Because I like that too. That dragon thing I made, but it's just, matter of fact, you know what?
Yeah, well, that is a very good one. But we'll talk when the show ends of what I want to say.
That dragon one is actually the same song. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, it's the same song that you guys just heard.
Oh, I get now. I see what's going on. Mr. Chris Carr and Kristen Johnson from Dark Horse Paranormal will be on Metaphysical Crossing on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on the Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigations and Events page. They are going to provide us with an awesome show as usual. They're great. We love them, and that's why we have them. Not only as our friends, but our fellow workers on that show. And we'll have Carly Bird and Becca Leader, too, besides some guy by the name of GK. I'm not too much into that one. They are very, very good. You're right, Barbara. When we came into friendship, it was awesome, and still is.
I don't even remember. You know, it's funny.
What?
I don't really remember how we all met. I just know we met. It's been what, about a year? I mean, Chris Carr, Kristen.
I watched quite a few of their shows before they had any idea who I was. I was just a little kid on the block.
Yeah, it's
compared to them. Chris was
that must have been what it was. I was watching a podcast, and maybe you were on it or something.
It's all Greg. He says it's all Greg's fault.
What, that we met?
It's all Greg's fault. Now I'm going to get blamed for it.
Sometimes when Greg's up to no good, it ends up being an all good. If you understand what I mean.
You know what? If anybody's going to get caught, it's going to be me. Anybody does anything wrong, it's going to be me.
I figured out that the only way I'm going to, sometimes something happens with my computers to where I have to restart them in order to get them to network right.
That's because you're watching bad things on there sometime.
Nope.
Gotta quit doing that.
I don't do anything that the government can check my history on and nail me. I don't do nothing bad online. If you're thinking dirty wise, I don't do anything bad online.
I didn't say
that. If
that.
something happened to me tomorrow and they confiscated my computers, I don't want them knowing that I'm looking at something dirty.
There wouldn't be any nude ladies on there?
Nope.
Nope. There wouldn't be any pickles.
That's funny.
Pop-ups.
Man. You know, this is I was watching a couple of videos that we had done.
Yeah.
And I played them today during that little podcast I was doing. You know, some of this is so amazing. I'll show you one right now. Okay. You guys all remember this, right?
Is Greg the connector?
Okay, here's the original video I did. And then me and Greg during our podcast on Thursday night, and I'll show you that too. My guides all come and talk about this video and about how they did this on our podcast. And what's funny is, okay, during this video here, I'm using the SB7. When they're talking about it as I'm playing it, it's with KD Stafford's ink box that they're talking through, and it's all the same voices. It's so cool. It's like validation that from the beginning. And again, you look at this, June 28th, 2020. All right.
3 years ago.
That was a week after I found her in the river, the missing girl. 2 weeks after the first time I went to St. Michael's,
Oh,
when I started connecting that these were my guides and angels. And then our show was 3 years later with the same voices, the same everything. Here, I'll show you this one, and then I'll show you the short video from the show. This is just a recording. It's the original one. That's Madeline. Okay. Okay.
wow.
Now on our show, that was Madeline on the one with the cat in it. She's the one that says 11. When she's the one that goes, you can see her energy going into the ground that says wait for me on that video.
Right.
Okay. Here is our podcast about that video using the ink box. And she even says something to the effect of I tried or I did something. And she sings it in the same way she said, "Hey, Reggie, come dream." And then you can hear them talking back and forth about it. Check this out, George.
Now,
It's the
I
same
was going to
video
show
of
this.
me talking about it.
This I happen to.
And you can hear
It's
them in
probably
the ink
fitting
box.
that I move this little video over. This is when I first started doing videos. I had
This blew my mind.
I started running the white noise, the SB7, while I was asleep with cameras on me and stuff like that. And I said that I wanted them to come to me in my dreams. And I take note on this little clip that I'm about to show you. I didn't hear it. They said it over the white noise. I had the volume of it completely down, but I was recording it. And you will hear, you won't hear me in the video, or in this little clip, but
These words are coming through.
I tell them, I
ink
said,
box.
okay, I'm going to lay down, guys. And I want you to come see me in my
You
dreams.
can actually hear my voice.
I
in it.
want you to come
Right here.
see me. I want you to come see me. I want you to come see me. I want you to come see me in my dreams. And it was
That's
at
where
a,
my ability.
like, I know it was at that precise moment. I didn't have security cameras at the time or anything to prove it, but this happened on my recording, and you're going to hear
Right here.
Miss Madeline
Hear that
in the
same
most
voice?
beautiful voice saying, "Hey Reggie." She sings it in a sense. "Hey Reggie, come dream."
Now they comment during the whole time I'm playing it.
It might be kind of hard to hear, but maybe not.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying all this through the ink box as I'm playing the video. They're talking about that, and it happened 3 years prior to that podcast. I mean, that kind of blows my mind to think about. The other one was that our very first podcast, when she came forward to say paint a picture, and I had Wilma playing her piano on it and everything. That was a really cool podcast we had that came out with, and I got the one that where Mickey Mantle and Jackie Robinson came forward. That one is mind blowing.
Yes.
Mickey Mantle and the part on there where I said I have a Life magazine with your picture on it. Mickey Mantle says hate it. He hated it. And the thing is that particular Life magazine was in about 1963 or 4 when he was going through all those health conditions. His leg was hurt. He looked miserable on the cover, like absolutely miserable. And that's where that one comes from. That's why he said I hate it. I know that's why he said that.
Go ahead.
Undocumented. Somebody.
You're trying to pick somebody. Mickey here.
Hey, look.
Jackie here? Is that Mickey talking?
Oxy.
Talks to me? That's very cool. I'm not sure what he said, but I heard the word game in there.
You're too fun.
I'm
You're here for
excited.
goals of poker.
Hey, how are you
That was
doing?
Jackie right there.
All the
All good?
you're awesome.
That
Hey, thank you. Mickey, you're here, right?
It's good.
it's the same.
I've
voice.
even got a Life magazine with you on the cover.
Hate it.
That he
You
hated
hate
that
it?
magazine.
Why?
I was about.
And when he talks to Greg,
I was hearing you to my left.
Parents
Hi. How are you?
different.
So, Mickey, are you here? You guys still love baseball? Yep.
So it's the same voice coming through my end as coming through Greg's end on that.
Right.
He just switched. Yeah, I love that video. It's so awesome. You know, and you can hear Jackie and Mickey Mantle, Jackie Robinson and Mickey Mantle, you can hear the appreciation that, hey, they get to talk. You know, they're happy to come forward and actually get to say something to somebody. That's why they said you guys are awesome. And Jackie was kind of a kidder, a joker. You know, he's like, you know, telling us we need to listen. And when I said, who is this, the Mick? And then like not even 30 seconds later, he says Jackie.
Yeah.
You know, and then Mickey Mantle comes in. You know, but oh, he's taking his hat off.
Oh God.
At least it's not his pants.
Not my what?
I said, at least it's your hat, not your pants.
Oh boy. Kimmy says, I try so hard to get my guides' names. Any tricks, Reggie? We'll let you say it first, and then I will.
Well, to be completely honest with you, again, everybody's different. Your abilities are different. You know, everybody has different ability. Mine, I don't know what to call it. Electro medium, or I don't know what to call it. But when I first started, I was hearing names, and like through the white noise. And then that's where I got Andrea. And that was no doubt the name Andrea came through. No doubt. There was no question. And then I knew it was one of my guides because Prime, I asked what her last name was. And Prime said, don't make her pick.
Right.
Talking to the other guides, don't make her pick a last name, in other words.
Right.
And then Avius goes, Guardian Angel. on the same recording, you know. And the names of 3 of them I took from a reading from Angela Boley and kind of ran with it, to be honest with you. I kind of ran with it because it made sense. She had a rough idea of a name and kind of gave me a roundabout idea of a name. And I took it as Avius. And I started talking to him as Avius, and he responds every time. I don't really believe that any of them have human names. I think that if you're comfortable calling them whatever if you feel it's a Margaret, it's a Margaret. If you feel it's William, it's William. And your guides, they love you. They just want to communicate. So they're going to say, William's here. Margaret's here. Hi, how are you doing? You know? And then one of the names, Prime, you always hear me calling him Prime. We came up with an Angela Boley again. he's from Orion, and you can't say his name. It's like a cricket sound, like a chirp. He's my electronic guy. Like, he's the one that like helps spirit talk through the box. That's some part of what he does, and he goes and finds spirit to come talk. It's part of what he does. But on my recordings, I just felt comfortable calling him Prime because he sounds like Optimus Prime. I mean, he sounds just like Optimus Prime on the movies. And so, oh yeah, Angela Bully would do that for you, Carol.
Yep.
In a heartbeat. You just get on
She's
a
really great.
video call with her, and she'll talk, and she'll tell you. And she's the type that'll be painting a picture of whoever's sitting next to you at the same time. Angela's something else. She's a psychic artist.
She's just an amazing person.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm certain she would do that for you. Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you very much, Donna.
She is a fantastic person.
Yep. She's a member of our group too. So she's a member of Psychics Unite. And if there's anybody in here that is interested in that, you can go ahead and contact me after the meeting or after this show, and I'll give you the information, and you can join just to see what it's about. It's sometimes it's just 7 or 8 people that are just talking about different things. And then other times we have topics and we all share them, and we try to read each other and things like that. We've done that. Our mentor, or my mentor, is Scotty Rourke, and Scotty Rourke and his wife Terry run Psychics Unite, and that's based in Madison. And they have every Monday night, they have 2 meetings. They have one in Madison and the other one's in, is it Waterford?
I'm
Something.
not sure.
Something like that. But if you're up there and you have any interest in going and checking it out, that would be the way to do it. So
Here's how Prime got his name. He's the one from Orion. That's 2 of my guides as well. And here's Prime answering them, basically, or finishing what they're saying.
Hello, little one.
Now, they said, this feels good. One guide said that. I agree. And then Prime said what he is doing.
Hello, little one.
That's how Prime got his name. I happened to find that video on this computer, so that's kind of cool.
in response to Kimmy's question that was up above, if you want me to, I can go ahead and tell you how I came about mine, and I could do that after the show. If you'd like, just let me know. But that was the that was the question you just answered. And I'm saying that, if she would like, I can go ahead and tell her how I came about mine. But I would do it after at the end of the show. Because it's getting pretty late now. We've been on since 7:00.
And the answer, Carol, is yes. That's St. Michael's. That's the one where I talked to Dora, Ernest Nerlich. That's where I got the piano playing, Wilma Roeder. That's that cemetery. There's 78 buried there, and I've communicated like fluently with at least 35 of them or 40 of them that are in that cemetery. And so,
Kimmy, I can go ahead and do Facebook Messenger if that's okay. I'll call you on that.
do you want me to send you? We're about to end the podcast right now, Kimmy. Do you want me to send you a link, and then you can come in backstage?
Yeah, and we can talk to you here.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, Carol.
Carol does wonderful work too.
Okay. I'll send. Matter of fact, I'll send you a link right now. Let me get it.
He's very prompt at times sending links. Some people will disagree with that statement, but
The only reason why you disagree with it is because I sent the link 1 minute before the podcast starts.
yeah, I don't even have my pants on. God damn it.
I get so
Excuse
busy.
me.
Hey, what'd you just say?
I didn't say anything.
I heard you.
No, I moved in the chair wrong.
All right, I gotta scroll down. I think it might have been a while since we messaged each other, Kimmy. So I'm about ready to send you a backstage link here.
Oh, it's like being with Rob Zombie when you come on this set. It is. It's going to be unbelievable. It'll be good to see you though. It's better to talk in person anyway. I think.
All right.
Especially about important matters. Everybody else, you guys all have a wonderful evening. It's been absolutely awesome. And we really appreciate the fact that you guys stuck with us. And it's been great. It didn't look like it was going to turn into anything. And it blossomed, like Reggie said, into something that was extra special.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad you all had the opportunity to witness it with us. So we will all go ahead and talk to you later on.
You know, it's funny.
What?
I don't really have an out video to play.
You don't have a what?
Like an outro video to play on here.
What? Why not? You got 14 of them.
Yeah, well, let me see if I can think of something here.
Make sure it's not too loud. I don't want to get my stomach.
I'll just do our one from the other show.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, we love you all with all of our heart, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll let you. I'll have you in right after the intro, Kimmy.
Love you guys. You guys have a great evening.
We love you.
Love you.